Hello, I'm Kats, and welcome to today's video. So once again, the portal is alight with the lovely blue hue, meaning it is once again time to pull some shards. Now, fair warning, this is more of a luxury, I will say, because there is a fusion starting up on Monday, I believe, at the time of this recording. And so if you are trying to save your shards for that purpose, that could be advisable depending on your situation. In my case, as I always say, I do have an abundance of shards, and so I have no problems, no qualms pulling for basically every single 2x whenever they pop up within reason. Some of them I do skip, but I digress. But yeah, we are not pulling without a purpose though, because there is also the added bonus, or I guess the mandatory bonus, of pursuing the Titan event points from the champion chase here. So I do need these points to wrap up the Titan event here. There's 250 up for grabs from the champion chase. I do also plan to complete the spider tournament here. I made a video about that earlier today, and you'll see if you want to check that out, you can check that one out. But I plan to get this 100 and that 250, and if we hop over to the Titan event itself, you can see that we are at 1150, meaning I have exactly 350 to go. So basically those two events combined, and I will be done with the Titan event pretty early, relatively speaking. So 3 more days and a handful of more events to come, but I don't have to do anything. I guess there'll be a little bit of overshoot because of this 20 here from this, but there's no way for me to do less 20. But yeah, I skipped this dungeon divers, or I am skipping this dungeon divers here. I'm not really worried about completing it. Maybe I'll probably end up here just by doing spider. And then I think, yeah, the gear enhancement that ended yesterday, I skipped that one entirely. So this is all kind of piggybacking on the fact that I actually completed the Decafade this time around, and that gave me an extra 150 points that I don't normally have, and thus I was able to skip a lot of these other events by pulling my soulstone, so I get to save on silver and energy and gems and whatnot. But anyways, that's not what you're here for. We're here for the shard pull session here during 2x Ancient. So hopping back into the championship, I just want to specify the goal for the day, because we're already having to go all the way out to 4200. We might as well go out to 5500 to get ourselves that legendary tome. So 5500 is going to be the goal for the day. Now, if we hop over to the portal, we can take a look at the overall shard count on my account at the moment. We do have 702 on the ancient shards, 212 on the voids, 50 on the primals, and then 51 on the sacreds. Now, normally I would be pulling on Sundays, just because I typically don't care that much about the 10x's that are adjacent. You know, I don't really care about getting this I guess, what does it say, a Sylvan Watcher faction unity guy, but he is nonetheless in the pool. But mostly I'm just pulling today because I do want to finish the Titan event today, so I can focus on other stuff prior to the fusion starting. I don't have to worry about using energy for other things, so I'd rather just get it done today. And if we happen to get a faction unity champion, then so be it. I guess it was meant to be, but that's not really the goal for the day. If we take a quick look at my Mercy at the moment, if you want a copy of this Mercy tracker for yourself, it will be linked in the description box down below. But you can see here we're still fresh off of our last 2x Ancients, I think, session, where we happened to get a legendary, so the odds are extremely low, once again, that we will get another one within however many shards it's going to take to get the 5500 points. But nonetheless, you know, there's always a chance to 1% chance, excuse me, that you will get a legendary, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm not banking on anything in particular happening from that. I do expect to get a decent amount of epics though, which are worth a decent amount of points, so hopefully that will carry us through to the 5500. However, if we do happen to get a legendary, we get fortunate there. My top 3, 1 would be a Poison Exploder, 2 would be Molly Tankard, and 3 would be Elva Autumnborn. So without further ado, let's hop right into the shard pulls. We got a decent amount of space, 70 spaces. Hopefully that's enough. We'll see. I can make more room if need be. Decent amount of cash, and you know, honestly, let's just go for average luck. We just want to see a decent amount of epics over the long haul here to bank us a lot of points towards the champion chase. And starting it off with an epic is a great start. Hopefully we can get an average of 2 epics per 10 pop. That'll be good. Magnar, good for empowerment, and Dahlia, not that useful, but yeah, Magnar probably still the strongest HP based epic nuker in the entire game. So 580 thus far in the champion chase, or I guess 600 or so, because I know there's a little bit that we started with here, but the goal is 5500. So 1 epic here, Venom Mage, one of the best poison, or yeah, one of the more accessible, I should say, poison champions for epics, but also notably good in late game in Amius for heal reduction. Great for that purpose. So with the 2 10 pops combined, we should be, I think, around 900-ish points in the champion chase. For kind of going off mental math here, we'll see if I can keep track of it fairly well here. But Pitiless 1, terrible epic, Tarshan, decent-ish epic. I think he has like increased defense, turn meter fill, one of the few champions in the game. That's actually a really rare ability for some reason in the game, but we need more. Like maybe a fusion in the future will have increased defense and turn meter fill. Kind of like a speed champion, I guess, kind of like a Siffy, just not Siffy. So maybe like an Arbiter Light or like a defense version of Arbiter. That'd be kind of nice. That's kind of a missing thing in the game, but I digress here. But another 600-ish points, so we should be somewhere around 1,500 points, so 4,000 to go. So long ways, but hopefully we can get, you know, one of those quad, quint, epic, good fortune sets here. We'll see if that is the case. No, looking like a bunch of blues. Okay, we're saved. Barsalis Gravedirt, one of the most underwhelming epics. However, he is annoying to go against in wave content because I think his passive is like whenever other people die, it puts like true fear on you. So just AI targeting the wrong champions makes your team get feared out, which is just kind of annoying there. 3 epics, there we go. That's what we want to see. That's some good fortune. 800 there, 300 on the last one, that's another 1,000. So we're somewhere around 2,500. So not looking great, but still making our way towards the 55 hundo. Phoenix, one of my favorite epic nukers in the game, put down on the A1, one of the strongest hitting A1s in the game. Super good for that. Although mine's fully empowered, so I don't really have to worry about this copy. That's a food champion. Taragi the Frog, really good early game, mid game, Demon Lord Clan Boss starter champion. Ally protection with some poisons on the passive can work very, very well. And then Kalia, somewhat underwhelming champion, but she does have heal reduction, so maybe in a pinch you could use her against Amius. Haven't really seen anyone do that, but she is nonetheless a notable option for that. Missionary, trash. Ursine Irehide, not that good, but he does have AoE decrease attack. If you want to use him in faction wars, he can do that. Granted, it's on a 4-turn cooldown. 3,000 points, I believe, in the champion chase. So still a good ways to go, but we're kind of closing in on the Titan event points. But definitely looking like we're going to have to make some space, which is a-okay. Maeve, underwhelming. Atatsu, decent support, continuous heal, increased defense, and he has a leech on the A1. I think he also has a chance to place decrease attack. Yeah, it's not 100% chance though on the A2, but he can work in a pinch. And the Gresham Mangler, you get him obviously from like 240 days, I believe, but decent AoE nuker, Spirit Affinity epic, AoE decrease attack / crit damage, and then continuous heals. So decent nuker, decent healer, good all around support. So that's another 800, which should bring us to 3,800 or so. So definitely gonna have to make a little bit of space, and we will continue on towards the goal of 5,500. All right, we have 50 more spaces, so hopefully that should be enough. And I checked in on the tournament just to confirm where we're at, and we are at 4,000 points, so 1,500 to go. So I think, what is that, 5 more epics, give or take, with some rares along the way should basically do it. I think 3 epics in 1 10 pop is around 800 points. So I know maybe 6 epics. 10 rares is not what we want to see. So 6 epics to go still. That is unfortunate. Or maybe we can get a legendary, but odds are low. Let's see. Both the Rancid, heard great things. Good for like a Nether Spider anti-champion. Reduces the damage you take from poisons, as well as places heal reduction. So he could be useful for that niche. I haven't built him for that purpose, but I've heard great things. So that's 1 out of 6 epics. We still have we have 30 more spaces, so hopefully we can get it done. This is going to end up being another like 130 odd ancient summon session here. Maybe it is. Crowd in the Blue, one of the best Fire Knight Fire Knight hard epics in the game. Definitely run him on my account for that purpose, but lots of freezes, turn meter fill, and he's good for reducing the turn meter, of course, Fire Knight hard mode. Then Vrask, one of the best epic healers in the game. All he needs to do is crit, and then he can heal by a percentage of his max HP, which is very, very strong and consistent. Good for like Eternal Dragon and other fights where you just need a consistent healer just to spam his A1. So 3 epics so far. We still need 3 more-ish, I believe, and a 10 blues is not exactly what we're looking for here. So man, we're kind of closing in. I think we did 7. I had 70 spaces to start, and then this is 4 pulls, so we're 110 total so far. I guess we busted through the 1% chance there to get a legendary, but granted, there's only a 64% chance, for those who don't know, that you actually hit the drop rate of whatever drop rate you might be pursuing. So that's only 1 epic there. I think we're 1 epic short, unfortunately, but we can double check in the champion chase. But yeah, 120 ancients, relatively speaking, down the drain. Oh no, never mind, math is wrong. Maybe I miscounted. I think it hasn't updated, but okay, I guess maybe the rares helped push us over enough. But so 5 epics plus a bunch of rares. Actually, it looks like we did it there. So somewhere, I guess 340 plus this. Yeah, Math is mathing, sure. We'll take it. So there we go. I guess we can wrap it up there. 120 Ancients pulled, which honestly is not the worst thing in the world. We did get a decent amount of epics. We got our Legendary Tome. We got the Titan event points secured. And if, I guess we can pop up the Mercy tracker here, update it live. But essentially, we're in a decent spot now because we did 120, so we're at 122. So now if there happens to be an Ancient Pogo in the near term, that means prior to the next 6 to 8 weeks, whenever the next 2x Ancients is, which is probably pretty likely within the next 2 months, then we're in a good spot because we are 78 away from entering Mercy, and then a maximum of 20 beyond that to proc Mercy, meaning we can get a double legendary within 98 shards, i.e. 100-ish Ancient Shards, which is kind of where I like to be in terms of bad RNGs during coming off of a 2x going into an Ancient Pogo event. So the point being, this is not really the end of the world. This is just par for the course. Like I said, there's really realistically only a 64% chance that you're going to proc something within its drop rate. So 1 in 100, the 1 in 100 chance has a 64% chance of happening. So we just didn't get lucky this time around, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But yeah, I think that is going to do it for today's session. 120 Ancients down the drain, so to speak. But we did secure the Titan event points. We did secure the Legendary Tome, and I guess mission accomplished for today's session. We did get a decent amount of epics. Nothing, I don't think anything monumental for empowerment, but maybe the Venom Age kind of stands out. Let me take another look through those. Like I said, Fenax is fully empowered. He's +4 already, but I do think Venom Age is in the vault because she's only Amia's champion. But I think Crowden will be empowered. Yeah, Crowden and Taragi and Venom Age. I think that's basically it. Maybe Grush and Vrask. I think Magnar might be fully empowered. Maybe that's +4. I don't remember. But okay, so 5 to 6 epic empowerments. Not the end of the world. That's pretty decent, right? But anyways, at this point, I'm just rambling. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and proof. Maybe this is some proof that we're not always lucky because I know a lot of people seem to think that I've just been permanently lucky for every single shard pull session. That's just not the case. But the more popular ones do get more views. So maybe that is a little bit of confirmation bias when it comes to that, but I digress. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are also pulling some of your shards or plan to pull some of your shards over 2x Ancients. It is generally speaking a good time to pull for the general populace, but depending on your situation, you might have a lot less stake in a 2x Ancients, understandably so. And if you did pull, hopefully you got some better luck than me and procced a legendary. Let me know what you got in the comment section down below. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit the like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.